Hello and namaste, my beautiful listeners and viewers. I am Jill Loftus of Nuit Astrology. Welcome to your planetary energy forecast for the week of September the 2nd, 2024. Thank you to all of you who reached out about my cold. I'm feeling better, still a little froggy, but let's hop into this interesting week. There are some challenges this week. I'm definitely thinking get some traction as the week begins because we have this new moon in Virgo. I love the timing of this moon. This is the time of year where we all kind of turn ourselves to rededicating ourselves to having a schedule and getting organized and clear on what our mission is for the fall season. So I'm loving this new moon that occurs on September 2nd. It's at 9:56 p.m. Eastern, 11 degrees, 4 minutes of Virgo. So really set those intentions. If you don't know where the Virgo area of your life is, general themes around Virgo energy are improving your daily life routines, your health routines, being useful, being of service, and of course, being discerning. We all love that Virgo coworker or friend who can really help us problem solve. We don't always like it when they, criticize or are harsh. That can be a little bit hard or difficult to hear, but sometimes we do need a little help figuring out exactly what's not working and what is working. And so this new moon is really a wonderful time to kind of step into that energy. Now, a little astrological caution flag here. There's a couple other influential energies with this moon. First off, the positive, we're still enjoying that flow from Mercury in Leo to Chiron in Aries. So it's this fiery energy, but remember that retrograde Mercury all of August. Maybe it's brought up some old patterns from the past or old situations that you've had to kind of dig through. Chiron's flowing presence here with Mercury indicates that you can sort things through, maybe understand what happened and how to move forward. There is also a bit of a negative clash between Mars in the very mental, talkative sign of Gemini and Neptune in Pisces. Now, this could bring in a little bit of an argumentative edge, a little hypersensitivity, a little bit of, my way or the highway kind of idealism that could come up here. So that's something to kind of observe. And remember, right after the moon is new, the moon will keep going and it will stand across the sky from Saturn in Pisces as well, which lends a little bit of seriousness to this moon, but I think that is actually a beneficial aspect to this. I mean, be serious about the intentions that you're setting for this moon. Now, we're also keeping an eye on the fact that Venus is coming very close to the South Node in Libra. As I've mentioned before, it's highlighting kind of the shadow aspects of Libra. And it won't be here again for another about 19 years, the Venus in Libra touching the South Node in Libra, and therefore standing across the sky from the North Node in Aries. So avail yourself of positive Libran expressions. Be social. Be generous, be interested in what's fair and what's right, but don't fall down the rabbit hole of being just nice on the surface, of being worried about trite or useless things that really won't matter. That's something that you want to watch out for, and that's kind of in play all week. Now, I'm also really observing when Mars gets to that 29th degree of Gemini, because I've really noticed when Mars gets to the very, very last degree, which is 29, and then pivots to 0, sometimes there's an activator there. Mars is like a trigger. Mars is like a switch. It wants the outlet of some kind of expression. Journaling would be a great way to move this energy, really understanding kind of moving that mental energy. Mantra or chanting would be a wonderful way to move that energy as well. But just watch that because that occurs on the 3rd. And then that's also the day that the Venus and the South Node really meet in connection. So make sure you're expressing yourself clearly. Remember, Mercury is still in the shadow and it's in Leo and wants to be heard. So make sure you're expressing yourself clearly in a balanced, harmonious way. Take a deep breath before you would blurt something out. Now, Mars moves into the Cancer late afternoon on the 4th. Distinct vibe change, right? And so perhaps look at your chart to see where the predominance of Gemini energies are, and now Mars moves into Cancer. This is a much more homey, concerned with real estate, nurturing kind of Mars energy. It's a wonderful, I'm thinking like feng shui, like home projects, like really go for it. But it also can be kind of a secretive, hypersensitive, that Cancerian energy. Think of the claws coming out, right? So be observant of that in your life over these next few months. Now, another thing to remember is that we're still in this kind of interesting flow of energy between transformative Pluto, inspirational Neptune, and shocking Uranian energy. And those are all in the late degrees of Capricorn, Pluto, Uranus, Taurus, and Neptune, Pisces. Those areas of life are flowing nicely together. Look at your chart. What is seeking expression? What is seeking transformation in those three areas of life, and how can you harmonize them? That's kind of a theme for the week. Now, once we get to the 6th, Uranus in Taurus begins to pick up a clash, a difficult angle, what we call a square with Uranus in Taurus. So Mercury square Uranus could bring technological issues. You might be like, Jill, I thought the Mercury was direct and things were better. Well, this could really bring up some issues. It could also bring up issues with like transportation. It could bring up arguments. And because Mercury's in the sign of Leo, it's the sign of leaders, there might be some clashes out in the world that you might see between people in leadership authorities and pushing against the rules or arguing about something that they want to evolve or shift, or even bucking up against technology because Uranus is in Taurus. So that might be interesting to note. But watch, you might want to, once you get to the end of the week, be a little more aware that you may have some delays if you're trying to get somewhere. I know I've got to travel over the weekend. I'm thinking, there's going to be a little traffic. But anyways, and then at the same time, we have the Sun in Virgo moving along and coming into an opposition with Saturn. So Sun Saturn always can bring depression, heaviness, overwork. Oh my goodness, why is this so hard? Especially Sun in Virgo, which is like, well, I want to do this very specific way, and I have these very specific plans. And Saturn is in Pisces is like, yeah, right, forget that. We've got some rules that you weren't even aware of. Some things coming up. Oh, really? I have to do that? So be prepared for those kinds of pivots. Don't dig in. Understand that Saturn in the long term is your friend. It is strengthening you. It is strengthening whatever it is you're trying to create. And so work with that. Find a balance and harmony between the push-pull of that Sun in Virgo and that kind of uncertain but stabilizing structure of Saturn across the sky. And so that exact opposition is on Sunday the 8th as we wrap up the week. So as far as the bright light of the week, the things that I'm looking forward to, I'm really looking forward to this South Node Venus contact. Perhaps it's because it's right on my ascendant, and I am kind of intrigued to see if I've gotten better at being balanced in relationships, setting good boundaries and things like that. I feel like I've been working really hard on that, and I think we all have in some ways. So that should be a really interesting growth-oriented contact. Of course, I'm loving the trine between Mercury in Leo and Chiron in Aries. So that fiery desire to like, let's just put this to bed. Let's get this resolved and move forward. I'm also really liking the new moon. I think it's a great new moon. And I think, again, I'm looking at that area of life in my chart and thinking, all right, this is where I'm going to get organized. I'm going to have a plan. I'm going to apply my Virgo vision to that area of life. Now for the shadow, we do have some tension this week, right? That clash between Mars and Neptune. Anytime Mars and Neptune come together, I know you're going to be like, she always says this, but boldly going in the wrong direction. So especially the mind in Gemini, or Mars in Gemini, there's a little bit of an immaturity edge. And so ask yourself, like, am I being Page of Swordsy here? Am I really being an adult here? Am I being sensible, methodical, practical, real about what it is that I'm trying to accomplish here? I'm also would keep that eye on that Saturn Sun opposition. Just feeling your light dimmed a little bit, especially if it's Virgo season, it's your solar return season. You might be thinking, man, usually I'm a little more together this time of year. And right now I'm struggling a little bit. That's Saturn. Okay, Saturn. Just have to put in the work and know that this too shall pass. And then also I'm watching that Uranus square to Mercury. Again, it could cause delays. It could cause some technological issues. We've already seen some pretty wild Uranian technology things happening over these past few months, and that I'm afraid we're not out from under those types of influences with a sky like this. So, all right, and the tarot is back, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm intrigued to see how it suggests that we move through this week. Remember, quick little highlight, Mars retrograde shadow is coming, and it's going to be in Cancer. It doesn't start until October, but that area of life for you is going to be very, very activated. And so note the shift from Mars out of Gemini into Cancer so that you can familiarize yourself with the energy and understand what to do. All right, well, I hope you found this useful and helpful. 2 seconds of commercial interruption. Please join me at Synchronicity University, Nadia Shah's channel. I am going to be teaching on the 4th house. I'm calling it home work, so that you can kind of understand periods of the childhood, what it is about where you live that's meaningful to you, and also your relationship with real estate, with women, with mothering and nurturing. So check that out. That workshop is on October the 5th. And there are a series of lectures that are related to the same topic of home. And she has this amazing discount where you pay whatever it is that you wish if you join early. So hopefully you'll check that out. I am also on the new moon initiating a new life transformation course group. And so that is self-timed, self-paced online class that goes 8 weeks. 1 lesson for mind, 1 lesson for body, 1 lesson for spirit each week with journaling questions and 3 30-minute personal consultations with me. So check that out. And if you're in the Roanoke or Salem, Southwestern Virginia area, I'll be doing a fall equinox ritual and sound healing bath with my dear friend Cheryl Murphy. So yeah, and then all the other things. So hop on the website and check that out. All right, let's see what's going on in the tarot. I wish you a wonderful week. Hello, my beautiful friends. Namaste. Welcome to your Isis Lotus Tarot spread for the week of September the 2nd, new moon week, 2024. Let's take a look at 2 potential ways to manage the energy of the week. Definitely some tensions to be paying attention to. Good old Saturn, our friend Saturn. All right. So the first card is the past. The Empress, trying to create something, trying to start something new. And you, in the present, 8 of Pentacles, you're learning new skills, all right? You're starting something, you're studying, you're preparing. Now, the current environment strength requires you to be patient, requires you to, kind of bide your time, don't freak out, stay steady, kind, gentle, loving. And as these 4 energies come together, 3 energies come together. Queen of Pentacles. So this is the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. So Queen of Cups energy, she's pretty capable, savvy, right? But she's definitely intuitive. She's caring, she's nurturing, she's loving, she's kind, all right? So definitely there's a lot of feminine energy here, the positive expressions of feminine energy. Key card of the future, Knight of Wands. You're going to need to do something. You're going to have to do it fast. All right? There could be some anger. There could be some upset. There could be some conflict. So be aware of that. The opposing energies in play that are influencing this, well, High Priestess, trying to get you to be more spiritual, to be more connected to your path. And also the Queen of Wands. You're going to maybe have to do something. So one of them is a little bit more like, wow, I see the cosmic picture. And the other one is like, okay, I need to do the laundry. Near future key card, 8 of Wands. So this indicates that something's going to happen this week that you're going to have to respond to. some unexpected event that will be happening. All right. I'm hearing we will all need to be dealing with this. All right. And then these modifiers. First of all, we've got the King of Cups. So the King energy is always a little bit different than Queen. It's a little bit more about gathering the people, you know, taking everyone's pulse and then making the decision. Kings aren't afraid to make hard choices, right? And another way of dealing with this rapidly shifting energy is, again, intuitive, tapping in, realizing you don't have all the information. Now, paired with that King of Cups on the High Priestess side, judgment. You're going to have to make a decision. Paired with the Moon on the Queen of Wands side, we've got the Emperor. Again, powerful cards coming up here. All right, 2 possible outcomes. On the High Priestess side, we've got the 7 of Swords. You are at risk of loss or theft. Queen of Wands side, 4 of Swords. Respect the timing of the situation. Paired with that 7 of Swords on the High Priestess side, try to focus on the positive. And over here, Queen of Wands side, Hierophant. Wow. Okay, this is shaping up to be a pretty interesting week. So you're coming from this place of wanting to create something, the Empress, and you're learning new skills. All right. You've got to understand the dynamics at play and be really wise and not overreactive and tap into your intuition. But then you're going to have to take action. All right. And you're either going to be more in the earth plane action or more a spiritual, internal, cosmic action. All right. And that is when things start to really unfold. All right. And then if you're going with the High Priestess way, the spiritual action, again, emotional intelligence, you're going to have to make a hard decision. Make sure that you are not going to let anyone take your dignity. Let no one take your optimism. Let no one take your hope. And be more careful with your material objects. All right. Focus on the positive. On the other side, we've got this a little bit more of like you're getting your hands dirty. You're in the day-to-day, all right? You've got to tune into your intuition. You've got to be a little bit more, it's interesting. These are both, I consider both the High Priestess and the Emperor to be big picture energies, but the Emperor is a little bit more about the kingdom of the material world, right? Versus the Empress, or I'm sorry, the High Priestess is more like the priestess of the spiritual world. So you've got to realize there's a lot going on. You're going to have to make some decisions. You will have to find the right timing. And the Hierophant indicates there's a spiritual aspect to this, but it's more of an understanding of the philosophy in a way that maybe you've understood before, or that is more traditional, or I don't know, embraced by the culture. I'm just tuning in for a second here. I mean, it's like you've got to trust your higher self in this situation. All right? Trust yourself in this higher situation. So if you feel like you're shouldering a lot of responsibilities, I would say that this Queen of Wands side is where you're at. If you are trying to move beyond some of the stuff in this realm in order to make some decisions, you've got to watch that you're not losing enough track of the real world that you're going to miss out on something. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. Well, I didn't think that this week was going to be quite like this, but based on the astrology, but this is a pretty powerful spread, and I would say it's definitely ushering you onto a new pathway, and maybe that's what some of the vision of this Virgo new moon will bring to you. All right, my friends, have a marvelous week. Bye.